Welcome back to another episode of the podcast for True You Recovery Coaching. My name is Ariel. I'm your founder and coach. Today's episode is about values, and the discussion of values is so important in the life coaching and recovery coaching process. Being familiar with our values in every area of life helps us to better create goals that will work for us. Now, what are the things that mean the most to you? If you can create a goal that aligns with your values, you are much more likely to maintain motivation during that process. Now, how do we figure out what our goals are? As I'm saying this, you may be reflecting upon it now, and you could say, Ariel, I think I value money, vacation, family. There are probably numerous things popping up in your head. I encourage you to understand that there are so many more values that you hold, and it is a process to try to figure out what they are. Now, there are some things that you can ask yourself to try and figure out what they are. The first question is, how do I spend my time? For example, if on the weekends I enjoy laying in bed or laying on the couch following a really hectic week, and as I lay there, I watch movies or daydream or whatever that decompression period looks like, right? We can say that from that, I value relaxation, stress management, comfort, and decompression. That means a lot to me to be able to relax after putting in a ton of work during the week. Now, the next question you could ask yourself is, what are my priorities? What are the things that you get done on most days or every week without fail? Maybe you're the type of person that shows up for work every day, and it would take something really big happening for you to not show up. You could potentially infer that your values would be reliability, responsibility, hard work, financial responsibility, and so on. The next question that you can ask yourself is, what are the things that I dream and I wish about or wish for? Now, I'm going to share something with you about myself. I have this ongoing fantasy of being in the middle of nowhere all by myself. Now, what this looks like is me doing yoga at sunrise, high up in the mountains with beautiful trees around me. I can smell the trees. I can basically hear the wind and animals and birds. And I am at so much peace, and it is beautiful. Years ago, I would have had this fantasy and just assumed that it was something that I wanted or I thought was cool. The older that I have gotten and the more that I have looked into what this fantasy actually means for me is it's so much more than I ever could have imagined. First off, I have to be honest, I've been through trauma, and so the allure of escaping to isolation has always been intriguing for me. Past that though, I value peace, serenity, spirituality, nature. I value being alone today, which is something that I did not like for years and years and years. Now, being able to look at my own dream or fantasy in that way and know myself so well where I can say this is why, that's the journey that we hope for. That's the journey where we can say I know what I value and I know what I want with my life, and this is something that would make me really happy. I would feel fulfilled and at peace and so content, right? The next question that we can ask ourselves is, how do I spend my money? Now, if you spend a lot of money on going out to new restaurants, you can say, I guess I value new experiences. Maybe I'm a foodie and I like trying new things, and that's very exciting. So I value variety and fun, right? The next question we can ask ourselves is, when I am really struggling, who do I turn to? What do I do? For me, when I have somewhat difficult problems, I usually turn to friends or my sponsor or my partner. When my life is in really dire straits, I call my parents. Specifically, I call my dad. I know that when I really need someone, my dad will be there for me no matter what. And I can count on that. And that tells me right there that I value that connection that I have with my father and that I value family. The other question that you can ask yourself is, am I living by my values? Now, there is something incredible that happens when we are not living by our values, and it is called cognitive dissonance. You feel disconnected, that your behaviors don't match your beliefs or your values, and it causes guilt, shame, discomfort. It is not fun. Trust me, I have been through that cognitive dissonance for so many years of my life, and it feels really good to be in a place today where I know that I'm living by my values. If you find yourself struggling with addiction or mental health concerns, or you're walking through some sort of big change in life like divorce or a custody battle, there are times where we are forced to act on the opposite of our values, and that's okay. Things happen. But as a general rule, especially if we're looking for change, we want to try to bridge the gap. What can I do to try to be more honest and to live with integrity and to connect more with my family? And, what are those aspects of that dissonance for you? This is one of the many topics that can be covered in coaching. If you find yourself experiencing cognitive dissonance today, I encourage you to practice contrary action. If you are not living by your values today, do the opposite, but take small steps and be patient and compassionate with yourself to see that it has caused you harm to not live based on your beliefs and your values. You deserve to have a life that aligns with your values, but only you can do that. And that comes through action. And that comes through trusting that maybe someone else can help you get there. If you're interested in learning more about coaching, please feel free to book a consultation from the Book Now button on my website. You can also reach out on the Let's Chat tab for more information or via email. Stay tuned for more episodes of the podcast for True You Recovery Coaching. Thank you for watching.